There she is.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Nice to see you.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think, how
Oh,
long have we known each other? Like, it's got to be 15 years at least, hey?
at least, yeah, because Vancouver was the place like early 20s, the Roxy,
Yeah.
Canadian content night. It's been at least 20.
Probably more like 20 hours. Of course, originally, we have Amanda Sellers now on the podcast. Originally, it was Amanda Sonic, and just a
Yes.
little rock star.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was going to theater school at Douglas College at the time, and I read in the Georgia Straight that there was a band in Langley looking for a singer. And I rode the bus for 2 hours out to Langley to go sing in this band. I had no idea what I was doing, but that was how it started. I never had any intention of being a singer in a rock band, but it was just so cool. It was just so much fun, and I enjoyed writing, singing, performing, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, for sure. And what was the music like in your house as a kid growing up? Like, what are your parents playing?
Oh, well, Willie Nelson, my dad loved. We always had a lot of country on, to be honest. And then as soon as I could get into my own kind of music, I was really into like Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, but I also really loved Madonna, Chili Peppers, Faith No More. And then my brother always had these like really obscure bands like Ween. Do you remember Ween?
Oh, Ocean. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, he always had like really interesting influences that were kind of neat.
Yeah. What was your first concert?
Tiffany, I think we're alone now.
Tiffany. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I remember I went with the neighbor boy, Julian, and like we didn't like each other at all, but he wanted to go and I wanted to go. So our parents like made us go together. So it was a little bit awkward to be with Julian Demkew at Tiffany. But yeah, that was my
So,
first.
oh, great. And of course, well, now you're, holy crap, are you kicking ass with the voiceover school? And of course, just
Yeah.
voice work in general. It's really cool to watch.
Well, thank you, and so are you.
Thank you.
It's a natural kind of evolution, after like I played music for so many years. I ended up down in LA and I was touring all across the United States with my band. My
Yeah.
drummer and my guitar player both went to Harvard Business School, so they ran the band like a business as all bands do, but they were like just so I learned so much from them, and we lived out of our van. Like we put all of our belongings in storage and lived in this 15 passenger van. And I saw like every nook and cranny of the US, which was, it was
So
kind of like,
cool.
yeah, it was like free, free education and all the people that we met. It was really incredible. But then my band broke up. I'm like, what am I going to do? And I ended up going from LA back to Saskatchewan, and I was offered a radio job. And I wasn't into radio, Todd. It wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
But, when you do the pre production before you go into work, the second that I did the voiceover, like for the local car company, I was hooked. I absolutely loved it. And I just knew that I had to find a way to make that my job. And I just, went crazy, got up at 5 in the morning, just one of those, just really determined that to make it happen. So that was like 15 years ago. So it's been a while.
That's crazy. And so talk about like the ups and the downs and the grind of doing that job.
Oh, voice acting. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so competitive. So you're up against 100 people for an audition. A lot of the time, especially nowadays, everyone working from home from all over the world. And, people have the resources, the equipment, the training. So it's competitive. I feel like what set me apart, I guess, or what paved the way was the tenacity and the not taking no for an answer. I just was so determined to make it happen that I would get up early and I would stay up late, and I took a lot of risks too. Like I'm the kind of person that will reach out to someone who you would never ever think would ever respond, but then they do respond, and then it like changes the path of your life. Like
Yeah.
I worked with Sarah Blakely and Jesse Itzler. Like Sarah Blakely owns Spanx. Jesse Itzler like sold a private jet company to Warren Buffett. Like they're, you know, these crazy entrepreneurs. And it was just me reaching out saying, hey, I heard you're starting like your own app. If you need a promo voice for this app, let me know. I would love to work with you. And then his team happened to listen to my demo and I got in there. Then I ended up like on the radio station. It was fun. I did enjoy radio at that. I think I like it now. When I was younger, I was too
Yeah.
insecure to like come up with the content and, you know, make everything like entertaining. But I feel like now I have the experience to be a good DJ. But
Sure.
yeah, so I think that's been part of it. And then when you just know that that's what you want to do, you stop at nothing to make it happen.
Yeah, 100%. And talk about maybe highlights of some of the voice work you've done, like the bigger brands that you work with. Like brag a little bit.
Oh, well, you know, I just did an incredible Ziploc campaign that like
Like how crazy is like Ziploc's a freaking national brand. It's
well,
crazy.
the crazy thing is, you know, the money that you earn from that one campaign is what a whole year in radio would pay me, you know. Then and those
Right.
campaigns don't come by too often, but I mean, I feel like I book one of those maybe once or twice a year, like those really juicy ones. So Ziploc, did Expedia not long ago, like huge campaign for Expedia, and that was multiple commercials, multiple sessions because they um, did them in every pocket. So we did the big national ones, like a big one for Canada, a big one for US, and then all the pockets they were trying to pursue or encourage people to take little day trips in their areas. So we
Okay.
did lots of little things around the US as well. So yeah, it's always different. Like I was the voice of the Roomba vacuum cleaner. So like battery low, like that kind of thing.
That's great.
So, you know, there's been some really, really weird ones. And I have to say, Todd, my weirdest job I've ever done for voiceover was I was the sniff in a Febreze commercial. So when the woman walks in to the room and smells and goes, like that was me. Like I was the sniffer and I got paid like $3,000 to sniff. It was
Oh
crazy.
my God, that's so crazy.
And the craziest part was I had a session, like a directed session, and there was all these people on the phone, right? You have all these people listening in, and
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like a 20-minute or like, you know, 10-minute session. Like I'm gonna sniff and we're off. Like these guys were all professional sniffers. Like they had all the vocabulary of what kind of sniff I was doing and how I felt during that sniff. Like it, Febreze is like
Wow.
they are in depth.
Wow.
So,
And now talk about the voiceover school .com. It's a 4-week online course. So, which is very cool, of course, Amanda.
well, thanks.
What do you like? Kind of walk us through, give us the Coles notes.
Yeah, for sure. So I got so many emails from past radio colleagues or actors wanting to get into voiceover because, you know, people think you have to be in a big market to make it happen. But I'm right now I'm in Saskatchewan and, you know, busier than ever. So I just came up with this course. It's a video course. It's online on your own pace, like take it at your own time,
Mm.
where it's just literally like step by step what I did to be successful in voice acting. And I didn't leave anything out. And we've changed lives. Like stay at home mom from Virginia who always dreamed of being an actor. Like she's one of the top voice actors now. So the people that, you know, have that in them to make it happen, this course like will change their life. So, and then other people do it just because they're curious about voice acting and it's like really inexpensive to get your feet wet and see if this is something that you want to pursue. Because I find a lot of people will look at voiceover and once they kind of get into it, kind of like acting, right? You're like, oh man, this is going to be a long road, or maybe I don't
Oh
have.
yeah.
I find voiceover so much easier than like on camera, but I don't know how you feel about that, but
You know, when I got let go from CFOX, I gave it a
Did you?
decent try to get into
Yeah.
voice work, and I got some stuff. I did like country music television's Christmas special one year, and I got a couple
Cool.
little parts and stuff. But like, I just found that it was so, like you said off the top, it's so hard to get in because
Mm,
there's all these people and all these talented, voiceover actors or actresses or talents or whatever you want to call them,
mm-hmm.
that the studio knows them. They know they're not going to waste their time. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
to
Yeah.
break through that barrier, I really felt like, as hard as it was for me to get to CFOX and like major market radio, I
Yeah.
felt like it was harder to get into voice work. I don't know
Oh,
if that's true
really?
or not, but it sure felt like it.
Okay, well, yeah. The thing is with on camera though, I feel like you had to just drive all around town. Like I used to quit waitressing jobs just so I could make the audition because you have to be
Right.
there. Whereas voiceover, I mean, I guess in Vancouver you go into the studios
They
a
want
lot
you
for the
there.
auditions. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, you'd be traveling as well. But yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was
But
tricky.
yeah, but you've done well for yourself,
Uh,
so.
I was like, you know what? Thank you. I was like, I'll just do a podcast.
Yeah,
It's like
well,
it's the
that's
easiest thing to do.
incredible.
What is an average day for you right now, Amanda? Or is that even like, does that even exist?
Well, it does. I would say I do work out every day. I put that into the picture,
Yeah.
and then it's just checking my emails and seeing what I have to do. For example, a lot of my clients are regular clients and they'll just have like, maintenance things that they'll need. Maybe they need a pickup line. I do a lot of behind the scenes. Like most of my work is stuff that you'll never hear. I teach the employees at Tim Hortons how to make the oatmeal or, PetSmart, how to sell the Performatrin Ultra. So
Hmm.
then
Interesting.
that's the annoying part is the pickups. That's the part that always makes me like, oh, when you have to like fix a line.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's part of the job. And then I'll get auditions from certain agents. That's the beauty of the online work is that you can have agents all over. Like there's like 100-mile radius rule. Have you heard that kind of?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can have an agent in Vancouver, Toronto, LA, New York, Austin, like all over the place. And then you put another layer on that. You have the agents, but then you have the production companies that are limitless all over. And
Right.
then like so it's just they're just we I think we have like over 500 clients now. So there's always just
What?
different things rolling in. Yeah, it's
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah, and they always come at different times. Like right now, I'm working for, well, right after this call, I am working for a company in Australia that turns carbon dioxide into renewable like gas. I don't know. They take like a pollutant and then they turn it into some, like they had a thing at the White House recently that I voiced that they played at the White House.
Come on.
Yeah. So
Dude,
and I
that's
work
crazy.
work with them and it's a rush thing. So I gotta, get that back for them. But days are always different. And then when I was in the beginning days, I would just work because I didn't have kids at the time. So it was just keep going. But now I definitely like will shut off and go get the kids from school and then I'm done. And so
Right.
yeah, it's always
Turn on the
different.
mom roll and
Yeah.
away you go. Can you
Yeah.
can you watch commercials and like listen to commercials and cartoons and stuff without incessantly thinking about the way that that person voiced that script? Like, oh, I think I may have done something differently, kind of thing. Like, because I know for radio,
Mhm.
like it's tough for me to listen because I can't stop myself from picking apart the way that people present their shows. Like
Yeah.
there's holes in their game. I'm constantly like, are you the same with voiceover?
I am so the same. Even when I'm getting my nails done, I'll hear like my buddy, doing a thing on TV and I want to tell them, "Oh, that's my buddy Mike," but
Yeah, yeah.
um but I'm always listening and a lot of times, especially the ones that I know that I auditioned for, so then you're like, "Okay, what did they like there?" I feel like so many people that have my tone of voice, like my demographic, I feel like they literally could have picked any of us and it would have worked. So you never know what their
Hmm.
processes why they picked who they picked. I think one of the things I've tried to do is like stand out or do something different. And I feel like with voiceover, the less that you care in your audition, the more you're likely to book it. I find that a lot of talent, especially the
Wow.
new ones that come in and they go through the voiceover school, they're trying too hard. They're putting it on, they're trying to be perfect. And literally when I booked that Ziploc campaign, I was like in the middle of, making dinner for my kids, and I went down and I did not give a crap. I only did it one time. I didn't revise it. And then those are the ones you book. So the less you care, the better your chances are. So yeah.
Isn't that
But
incredible?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
all right, Amanda, let's get outside of, voice acting and what
Yeah,
you're here
sure.
for. Are you a big sports fan? Are you watching the
Oh,
Stanley Cup finals? Do you care about hockey?
I do care. I feel like when I was in Vancouver, it was like top of mind. I was making songs for the Canucks, like, but I haven't really been watching. So
Yeah,
I feel like I'm letting everyone down. But I know that Edmonton is playing LA and the Bruins are playing someone.
they are indeed. The
Okay.
Bruins are. I think the Bruins are playing the. I don't. I can't remember. Oh, maybe it's the St. Louis Blues. I can't remember.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
So who are you cheering for in
well,
the
yeah, I'm generally a Canuck fan, of course,
Yes,
but
yes.
now that they're not in, I guess Edmonton. I guess I'd like to see McDavid win a cup.
Yeah, McDavid all the way. Woo.
Yeah, yeah. What are you binge watching lately?
Well, as a family, we watch Survivor.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Is that something you
So,
guys would do? Like, would you apply
oh,
to be on that show?
I would love to.
How
I would do
crazy
it.
would that
Yeah.
be? Like, it'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be so cool. We did the West Coast Trail 2 times. Have you done it
No,
before?
but we
So
want to do it.
yeah, it's kind of like Survivor because you carry all of your stuff on your back, like 70 pounds, like your tent, everything, and you're 7 days in the bush, crazy amounts of ladders and like zip lines that you have to, like, you go in these cable cars across waters. You have to like get this filtered water. You have to mind the tides. Like if the tide comes in too high, then you have to like go a different way. And it's
It,
pretty like dangerous, but
it sounds cool.
also,
How
yeah,
long is it? It's a long.
it's 77 kilometers, I think.
It takes a while.
Yeah, I think it takes like 5 or 6 days
Okay.
because it's pretty like steep terrain, like weird terrain. So, but
And
yeah,
you
I
did
would
that
definitely.
with kids?
No, that was like 20 years ago
I
before
was like,
kids.
holy shit, how was the
Yeah.
winding on that? I couldn't imagine trying to take that like with
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, I think the youngest maybe would be like 12, like a 12-year-old would
Oh,
be going on there. I don't think a really young kid, but who knows.
yeah, yeah. Tell us a near death story,
Oh,
like
geez.
where you're like, holy shit, I could have just died.
Yeah, you know what? I've had a couple of those. But
Most people have, yeah.
yeah, I was 16. I just got my license. I was going to the skate park to meet my boyfriend. I'm playing like Rancid or NoFX in my car with the tape. And I had a Slurpee and some candies, and I'm driving along, and it was raining. And I was drinking my Slurpee, and I went to go put it back down in the cup holder, but like the candies were there. I don't remember. But then the car flipped, and I hit a tree. I should show you a picture of the car because it got completely destroyed, but I still have this like massive scar on my neck.
No.
Yeah, like it looks like a burn, but it's just like this huge like scar that looks like a bear like clawed me, but it was just the
Holy
seat belt.
crap.
And I broke all the ribs on my back, and yeah, so that was a crazy one, but it's crazy at that age you heal so fast,
Yeah,
you know.
imagine that now.
Yeah, now I don't know,
I'd just
but
be out for the count. Be
yeah,
done.
but they use the jaws of life to get me out, and my back still gets like a little bit like numb. What about
That's
you? Like,
nuts.
yeah, yeah, it
I
was.
could have easily died there.
Oh, very, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was the last movie you saw in theater?
I saw my son was in Two Hearts.
No,
Uh, yeah, have you seen it?
I haven't. No, but that's
Okay,
cool. Like,
it's on Netflix now. So if you want to watch it, but my son was in that movie, and we went to the movie theater to watch him.
aw.
So yeah, it's a really sweet movie. It's a true story. It's based on a true story.
Hmm.
And Jacob Elordi was his dad, and the girl from Vancouver, Sky Above, Tia. I can't remember her name, but she's in everything. She's
Mm,
yeah,
that's cool. So
that
that's
was
the
a really
path for your little guy then,
um yeah, we
maybe.
take it day by day. Uh they do a lot of voice acting. Like my little guy, he's voiced for like Star Wars and Lego and Hasbro, and he's been the lead in multiple shows. But it goes in waves, and we never force it. He definitely could be like a full-time actor if that's all he wanted to do, but he has a lot of other interests. But both my boys are in it and they like it. And I'm just not like that crazy stage mom that does every audition. And it's
Yeah,
just like,
please don't turn into that one.
no, and I've never been into that. Like they go to school all day and then they come home. Do they really want to learn all these lines and stand in front of a green screen? Like some kids are really into it, but yeah, we just kind of play, like go for the good ones.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Oh,
but
that's
that was the
cool.
last movie I saw. Yeah, Two Hearts. And
Oh,
then
that's
I don't know.
super
What
cute.
about you?
Last movie, what did I see? Oh, I saw the new Doctor Strange,
Okay.
which was confusing, I guess.
Yeah.
It was an okay movie, but kind of felt like I didn't really know what the hell was going on,
Yeah.
which is weird considering I like a full on almost comic book spaz.
Yeah.
Uh, and I
That's
guess I saw
cool.
the Spider-Man before that.
Okay.
I guess I just go to, I mean, I have two like little boys, right? Like
Yeah.
almost 10, almost 12.
Yeah.
So they're all about superheroes and like, seeing all that
Right.
stuff. So
Do they like Mortal Kombat? My kids are
I
really into Mortal Kombat.
didn't see it.
Oh, okay. Well, I think the movie might be too gory for their age, but like they love playing it. Like,
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah, no, they're not in that. They're into what are they? Minecraft.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Just
that's big over
zombies.
here.
Like zombies on the screen.
Yeah,
It's no different than when we were kids, I suppose, but
yeah. Do you
yeah.
guys try to have like limits or?
Kind of like no
Yeah,
screens in the morning, no screens before school.
that's good. Yeah,
Um, we try to limit it to a couple hours a day, but of course it goes past that, especially like if we're on screens too. It's kind of hard for you to be like,
yeah.
hey, get off your screen. Meanwhile, you're flipping around on your phone, checking out
I
Instagram and
know.
shit. Like,
I know. I'm like, well, mine's work. Yours isn't work. That's like what I'll
and that's what
say.
I
But
say
yeah,
too. And at
yeah.
least it's true though, right? Like I'm making money when I'm on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you I'll wrap it up in a couple questions here. Are you a good cook?
No.
What are you making if you're trying to impress friends? You're like, no.
Okay. Okay, I can impress friends with like a burrito night.
Okay.
So that's a good one because it's pretty easy. You just chop up all the vegetables and do the
Yeah.
rice and the meat. Well, I'm vegetarian, so the veggie meat.
Oh, you're veggie. How long you been veggie for?
Since I was 16.
Oh, no way. Wow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
what
my
was the
brothers.
reasoning
Oh,
behind that? Like,
yeah, it was more because I cared about the animals.
yeah,
Um, and my brothers used to put like um, there's like a hunting thing in the paper and they like put it on my door, a dead deer. And I was like, well,
nice.
I'm never eating meat again. And my mom thought it was just one of those teenage phases.
Right.
But I just never did. But it's funny because now I live by my family. So when they come over, my mom will like bring her little tray of like ground beef for their own stuff. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not like years ago it used to be like ooh meat, but now it's like honestly my little guy gets stomach aches all the time, and I'm very open. I'm like, well, maybe we should try some chicken for him. Like, it's like I'm evolving. I'm
Yeah.
evolving.
Yeah. My wife is what's it called when it's just seafood?
Oh, pescatarian.
Pescatarian. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's that.
Cool.
Uh my oldest is that as well.
Mm,
And then my little guy is full on, like he'll eat my steak and chicken
right.
and all that stuff, right? So I feel like sometimes like a short order cook, because I cook like 80-90% of the meals at home. So
Wow.
it's like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I'm like making all these different dinners at dinner
Yeah.
time.
Do you
Yeah.
guys use the air fryer?
No, but you are like oh my God. What is it with air fryers? People are going nuts about these things. Like I work with a guy named Brian at BCIT and he is like religiously about it.
Okay. It's just so easy, especially when you're making lots of different meals for everyone, right? The air fryer, you can just put in like a few French fries or spring rolls, or like I put in like these sausages, like veggie sausages. So I'm sure you could do it with like real sausages, and
Sure.
it just kind of like almost barbecued them, like they were good.
Yeah, it's
So
weird. Like everybody I've talked to has been like, man, it is the best thing I've ever bought. It's worth the money, like in like days.
yeah, I think you'd use it, but I'm not a great cook though. I'm
Yeah,
not. I used to be a little better, but just
yeah,
time.
yeah. Fair. All right, last question. Hit us with the worst job that you've ever had.
Okay. Well, I used to be a housekeeper, so
Cleaning
not
up
really that
other
fun.
people's crap.
Yeah, like the black hair, the dark, just the
Yeah,
hairs and
yeah,
the um yeah, so that might have been my worst job, but I think it's more about the people, right? Like I used to waitress, and then you'd just have like these jerks that were your bosses, and I'm
Never
sure,
mind the customers as well, too, right? Like
yeah.
I can't handle that stuff. I used to before getting into radio, I was like a cook, and I'd like sometimes serve at a place called Mykonos in Sunderland,
Okay. Oh yeah.
and I just hated it. I hate people.
Yeah. So this is a
Not
good
like
job.
everybody, but I hate like the people that deserve to be hated. Fuck, I hate on them pretty good.
Right. Do you
Yeah.
know one of my favorite jobs was Hooters on Robson? Do you
Hooters,
remember?
you worked at Hooters?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
There was something about the girls that worked there right when Hooters opened, and if anyone is listening that used to go to that Hooters, you would know there was like this core of girls that started at that time, and so many of us are still friends. Like it was a fun job.
Oh, that's cool.
But I'm sure as soon as we get off, I'll remember jobs that I hated more than housekeeping.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, thanks, Amanda, for taking some time
Yeah.
here and joining us. 4 weeks online course. At least go and check it out and see what Amanda's up to through the voiceoverschool.com. You are at Miss Amanda Sellers on Instagram, also at the Voiceover School on Instagram.
Yep.
And we're inviting you to come join the dark side of Twitter once again.
Okay. I'll make my way over there. Thank you so much for
It's great to
having
it's
me. It's
great to
such an
see you.
honor.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
great.
you too.
It's really cool to see what you've been up to and just kind of keep up and I like your posts here and there, and I just wanted to get you on and get you to share your story because it's such a inspiring story. It really is.
It means a lot to me. It's an honor to be here. So thanks.
Right on, Amanda. Have a great
Okay.
night, and
You
we'll
too.
see you online.